Of all the things parents worry about on Halloween night,
Make sure we hold hands when we cross the street, look both ways.
sex offenders may be somewhere on that list.
That is something that I do think about, but for Halloween, I don't really check into that first. I just go to the areas that I'm familiar with.
An agency worked to minimize that risk.
And it's a time when sex offenders could potentially prey on children. So we want to make sure that we're watching those folks very closely to make sure that they're not in a position where they can violate a child.
Chief Parole Officer James Bergman says paroled sex offenders were on house arrest during trick-or-treat hours. He says his officers were checking to make sure parolees didn't put out decorations or hand out candy.
So those that are actually under probation and parole supervision are probably less danger than the general sex offender population out there that are not under some form of supervision.
And one way to protect yourself is to know where registered sex offenders might be in your neighborhood. The easiest way I've found is with a free iPhone app. Here's one that shows there are at least 2 registered sex offenders within a few blocks of here.
The other thing is just common sense issues, making sure that children are properly supervised, especially on Halloween and when they're out, making sure they don't go to strangers' houses, making sure that children know the safety tips of who they should and shouldn't speak to.
Parents say that's advice they stick with long after the costumes come off. Candace Adorica, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.